What's good? It's your boy Ken out there. Real quick, I'm gonna make a video today about voting. Voting is it's an interesting subject. It can be as little as you want or as big as you want. It's up to you. I choose to share my opinion on it today. It's a big deal. It's a small deal. It doesn't matter. It matters. Everything. It's all in one. It's a very, very complicated situation. Uh, I'm gonna try to get through it real quick, under 10 minutes. Try not to have it boring. It's gonna take some time, so I'm gonna have to put some into the air. I got the fritter rizzer, the freaking peanut butter fritter. End up getting the bag from my boy. Came through, little something, peanut butter fritter. That's how we make the video interesting. Is show you what I'm putting in the air, and then we get into shit that's really important, like voting, or really not important. Uh, my prediction, real quick, before we get into any of the. See, I pulled out my ballot, and this shit can be a little overwhelming. The book they send you is a lot of shit in there to read. You got weeks to look over it, but come on, we procrastinating human beings. Voting information does not produce any dopamine in our brain, so it doesn't excite us to continue to do the shit. So luckily I got some strategies I want to lay out. Oh my gosh, this shit smokes good, smells good. Peanut butter fritter. We in Cali. I met the man to where I got the plug, but I don't work. This is just personal use only. Disclaimer. Hey, but anyway, staying on topic, voting is discouraging. When you sit down and do it and you start to read, oh man, when you start to hear these ads on the news, how they freaking play you on both sides, try to make you feel like it's all fake news. Like when they put fake ads, I'll just leave it there, and critical thinking people can recognize, hey, this ad is misleading. And it's up to you to recognize that. And I feel sorry for you guys if you ain't trying to figure out who's misleading, who's not. And I feel more sorry for the people who's misleading people, using that as a strategy. That's so dirty tactics, but we live in America, and that's where that shit pays off, right? Dirty tactics, corporations, cut costs, increase profits. All the strategies is out there. But staying on track with voting, I'm a progressive. I'll start there. Democrats ain't progressive enough for me. I need to see change. I need to feel change. I need accountability. I need, like, AOC. AOC is an example of progressive. Bernie Sanders. Of course they not going to get what they want, but they got to fight for the extreme, for the progression. And of course, your boy Biden ain't progressive at all. He is not. He maintaining the status quo all over. He got it written all over his face. He don't even lie about it. He's centered. He Democrat center. He is not progressive. So trying to get to that progressive stage, of course it's not going to happen this election. We got to settle for the less of evils. What the hell, the less of evils? Why we got to settle for the less of evils all the freaking time? Less of evils in this, less of evils in that. Just the less of evils every time you turn around. But I'm here to say that finally, what Black Lives Matter mean to me is that we all stand up and fight for what we believe in. And fortunately for us, we got a nice coalition of women that is actually standing up and putting their money where their mouth is. When I grew up, I thought women were smarter than men. I felt that women were more compassionate than men. I felt that women takes care of the kids no matter what for way more longer than men, have more patience, have more dignity, have more empathy, have all the qualities necessary. Oh, I'm rocking the Fonto leaf, by the way. have all the qualities necessary to build not only a home but a community. So I'm so impressed by, what's happening with these women coming along and being progressive and making people be accountable to what they're there for and risking it all. Most importantly, risking it all, risking their job, risking their career to hold legislators accountable. So I'm looking at these ballots and I feel like it's really easy. I could go through each proposition one by one, but to me, it's like such a freaking no brainer. Like, for example, I live in Los Angeles and I'm looking at Measure J. And I listen to Measure the J ad on for Measure J. And the ad for Measure J, I ain't going to play it, but basically it's like give funding to the schools, give funding to inner city projects. It's like that's a no-brainer. There's another one on here like taxing businesses, and they're saying, oh, taxing businesses is going to put inner city black businesses out of business. So I'm like, Spider-Man?
No, it's a spider web.
Okay, you're getting me off track, please.
It's Halloween.
Oh yeah, it is Halloween by the way, a couple of days before election. But most importantly, we have to take time to go through these initiatives. So I just want to give you like some quick examples on how easy it is once you have your core value in place. So like I recognize my core value is with women. All right. I'm impressed by the most women who are in politics. Most like Kamala Harris. In my opinion, Kamala Harrison doesn't have a track record of fighting for us, but she's the choice. Me personally, I'll tell you, I didn't vote Democrat. I'm a registered Green Party member. I live in a Democratic state. Democrats is going to win the ticket from my state regardless. So I'm just trying to build the progression. I want the track record of progressive, responsible voters being counted. Now, of course, Green Party only gets like 0.02%, some super small amount, but it's going up every year, every election. So as long as we continue to push it up, that's what I'm leaning for. Personally, Democrats or Republicans, they both working on the same team. They keeping the ball on the same court. They just volleying it back and forth. We're not getting nowhere. We're not getting nowhere. We're not getting no change. It's just maintaining the status quo, I like to say. And if you look at the charts, economic charts, GDP, freaking not unemployment, but just the rate of poverty, the rate of rich people freaking getting richer and the middle class disappearing, the status quo is maintained. This is a big business. They had to bring in the most ruthless business CEO in the game to cut costs and increase profits, and that's just what Trump does. I would love to see Trump leave. Unfortunately, it's not up to the popular vote. It's up to the electoral votes. If you Google it, Trump won the election not by popular vote, by electoral votes. What makes you think it ain't gonna happen again? Should that discourage you from voting? No. We need to show up and vote by the millions, by the tens of millions. Show that Biden deserves it by a landslide. And then sit back and watch them give it to Trump. And then all hell's gonna break loose. Not all hell in a negative way, looting, violence, and stuff like that. All hell in terms of work. Our work ethic is gonna multiply through this vote by us doing the research and getting more progressive representatives into office. They are able to conjoin the powers and change from the inside the problems that we're dealing with. The problems that we're dealing with did not just arrive when Trump came. Nah. These are the same problems that have been volleyed back and forth in the system since the beginning, since the creation. It's just all of a sudden, more people are paying attention, more people are recognizing, and that's great. And we have a chance to change the occupants of these seats that can really ignite change from the inside out. Now, I was going to sit here and go through different ballots and different propositions, but I think if you sit there and you apply the women minority strategy to your voting, experience, it's a lot easier to make the choice. So I like to look at Democrats and, most importantly, minority women. I think by voting minority women, we have a chance of really getting some compassionate people in there that really is going to stand up for what the people really want and not sell out to endorsements. I didn't even smoke my blunt, cuz. I should have made like 10 videos on this topic. It's a really good topic from the inside, from the streets, because the anxiety, I've been having this ballot on my desk for at least a week. And like, I'll look at it. I'll look at freaking one freaking ballot, like member of city council, 10th district. And I don't want to pick anyone just off of, the name. I like to at least look at their picture, see what they look like. That's a big thing. Because I know the enemy when I see him. Sometimes he's hiding behind a veil. And then you like do a little bit more research and you look at, who he was affiliated with, who he endorsed, who endorsed him. All that should take time though. That should take time, especially when you trying to cram it in at the last minute. I did a bunch of research for everybody. It's just I don't think you want to see my research. I don't think you want to see like who I voted for and shit like that. I think you should do your own research. But when it comes down to like taxing businesses and commercial property and tax that shit. Yes. I run a commercial business, but that shit needs to be taxed more. I make a profit. There's a lot of people who don't. And until everybody's making a profit, then I can make a bigger profit. But you see, everybody don't think like that. But everybody don't got the freaking peanut butter fritter either. Maybe if everybody had the peanut butter fritter, they'll be real about shit. Stop thinking about themselves. I had this conversation with this dude about Trump all the time. I've been practicing. However, whatever people support about Trump, I got 10 reasons why you shouldn't support that. And how that's wrong. And beyond bias. And beyond freaking fraudulent and conniving and manipulative and misleading. We are reasonable people. I come to realize that it's not misleading for them. It's music to their ears. They want to hear that shit. Now let Obama say some misleading shit. It's going to be music to our ears. We're going to be like, see? Da, 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 da. Nah, but we got some real critical people like Dr. Cornel West. Dr. Cornel West will never let Obama pop off with no misleading shit. Dr. Cornel West held that man accountable the whole step of the way through all of the negative slurs that was given him because he was trying to hold Obama to a higher level of accountability. But here nor there, it's all about voting. I predict that we're going to show up. We're going to occupy some great seats. We're going to see Trump take the presidency by electoral votes. And then we're going to have to show up, show out, and work hard to change shit from the inside. Police reform. I love police. I called the police before. One time I went to jail when I called the police, so I called them on myself. I could say the other times they helped out. My life wasn't threatened, so it ain't like they came and saved my life. But got a lot of money in the police department and not that much in schools. I got this idea that's called occupy all the schools 100%. If we could get 100% of the chairs filled in community college, that means we taking advantage of our resources and they'll build more schools. And then we'll have more schools in the community versus less schools. I got an alert. The American dream is education. Peace.